The pyramid, that pyramid of knowing. That's knowing that you are the Trinity. You are the mind, body, spirit. You are the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Doesn't matter what you call it. It's with that illuminated eye and that illuminated eye of heart, being able to see throughout the individual from the inside out and see that all those 7 systems, those 7 energy centers, the 7 chakras, that's all energetically entwined, entangled into all the other energies that make us up within us. So you got the 7 chakras, the 7 sisters, the 7 this, the 7 that, the 7 dwarves. It doesn't matter. You have to know and feel it within you, and they have to be all resonating and linked, not just trapped down in like the root chakra while trapped up higher, but cut off from the middle. The middle is where you find that plane of balance and equilibrium here in this place. And that's where you can see and resonate and feel all those things and know that they likely are energetically entangled and intertwined with 7 luminaries above. Is it really important though? Is it really important to know that, to feel that? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's not required. Maybe it's only knowing that those 12 organ systems are those 12 witnesses, those 12 apostles that make up the one true you here on this physical plane of existence and reality, in this spiritual training ground, so to speak. It seems to me, I don't know. Because I won't put those names and labels on things, because I know from that dark pyramid at that capstone that's cut off, that's where all the labels and names reside and come from, that are taught in all these different ways and all these different systems and all these different things that can't. I won't go any further, but I mean, I prefer my own way of knowing and feeling things originally and organically from within me as I look and interact with outside of me. That's what's so profound to me, is that it's almost unimaginable now how I operated as I did for so long in that other state of mind and spirit control / perception control / suppression. Because looking back now, I know I was indeed insane in different ways, and that everyone on that dark pyramid is as well, because that's where you get the very few primary psychopaths of this reality, the aberrants of nature, so to speak, the outliers, the ones that actually are genetically hardwired for whatever reason to want to cause harm to other life, and for that to be their driving force in their nature. But yet there's very few of those, I'm convinced, except those ones that are like that, to me, are the ones most likely responsible, and the ones that are above all of those rung ladders of society, that won't participate in any of those systems that they know are so dark and meant to control and enslave, as everyone on those rungs controls and enslaves each other for them, whoever they might be. I don't know. As I said before, I don't want to, or whatever energy that is, because to me it all comes down to that. Really, it's all energetically real. That dark force, whatever it is that drives and feeds on negativity and fear and greed, is very real, and it grows within living beings such as us, and it can be taught and made to grow, and that's what's been done. And that's what's, for me, it's how could I have not have seen sooner, and now it's how can so many others not see it still? That's only because since I've seen it, it seemed everything should be much clearer. Of course, that's that whole being the center of one's own experience, I know it's different for everyone, because everyone is the center of their own experience, and they experience these things in these different ways at these different times and however they do. And I just wonder when is, to me it happened. When it happened for me, there's something else. There's something else going on here. Like everyone else knows, we all know it. We all know that something is happening. Something epically profound is going on in all of our lives, in this reality right now, that is whatever this reality actually is. Which is not to say that I've lost my grip on reality. It's my whole point is, the whole first part of my life, 39 years, I did not have a grasp on my own reality. I was operating off of the reality I was taught by others, which was an incorrect reality. And then due to my own choices and due to different environmental circumstances, such as the different pharmaceuticals, vaccines, and different mind chemistry altering drugs that are there to supposedly fix these problems that have been created, that only exacerbate and worsen problems because it is so unnatural and it was designed to be so. I realized I didn't have a full grasp on reality because I was playing out some kind of secondary psychopathic, narcissistic, weird, I had a whole thing there kind of up there and I kind of lost it, but just so weird thinking back and how I perceived things in such a broken fashion. And that's what it is. It was a broken, distorted fashion to where, I mean, like the same thing that's happening to so many out there, the memory loss, the not being able to remember stuff. I had that so bad for so long. I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't remember things I did the morning of the same day, and I know why now. I know it was all the toxins. I know it was the misfiring thought patterns, and I know it was a totality of all of those things, plus my job, plus my other beliefs, plus the constant alcohol intake, plus the TV, plus the video games. I would sit there and vegetate and play, and it's like I was playing out this weird, constant, like schizophrenic, multiple versions of myself and what I thought reality was supposed to be and what I was supposed to be in it, and it's kind of what it turns out. And what's so weird is that it was absolutely normal to me the entire time. That's what's so absolutely scary. And to know that so many others are in that state still. But to me, I'm convinced that is the spell that's been broken. It has been. Because to me, it has to be. Because life cannot continue in a constant, perpetual state of enslavement. Especially, there is no especially. None of us should have ever been enslaving anyone else or anything else this entire time, is what it is. That's what it is. None of us should have been controlling and telling this or that or the other, or making this or that or the other do this or that or the other, only because we thought it was right. We should have felt deeper into it this entire time. I say we because I fell into the same trap. I was brought up in the same generational trap that everyone else has been. Not trying to get all fired up, sorry. Not sorry, because it is serious. And any days that might be checking on me, feel free. I don't care. I do care, that's the thing. And I know that folk that might be, see, that's the whole other thing I got with this whole thing. This whole privacy this, privacy that. You know what? To me, I figured, because I got my whole targeted individual stories as well, of course, that I don't tell, because why bother? Who cares, right? I care, because things, you know what? Folks shouldn't be treated the way they're treated in this reality. They just should not. However, I don't see the point And beating up on all that negativity constantly like that in those specific types of things, especially if it relates to myself, because I know everyone else has probably most likely a lot more problems than I have right now in this present moment, because I'm perfectly fine and happy to sit here peacefully, stay away from society, and just stay kind of, out in the woods and just try and help tell folk that we can all do better together. We really can, because we have all the knowledge and all the ability. All we have to do is stop fighting each other. That's it. And it sounds, and I would have, that's the thing, a few years ago, if I saw me saying these words as I say them now and as I feel them now, yet I didn't know it was me that was saying them, I would have sat there and stared at the screen and just laughed and talked shit and cut myself down and called names, and I would have meant every word of it, because I had this weird, just backward outlook on life, to where I would see something or someone, being positive, and that would be my reaction, because it was kind of taught, and I kind of grew up like that. I grew up, at school with everyone else, the insult games, and let's talk about each other's moms and who can come up with the most hurtful one. And then that kind of mentality for me, it never really went away. I was trapped still in kind of this childish state, because I was trapped as a spiritual child, because I had never developed spiritually, for one. That's the big one for me. Everything to me was real life, this life, and I was fine. I'm not talking like I was horrible. But I had developed this mean spirit, this dark spirit, that was not, I found out later, even me. It wasn't even mine. It was put there. It was put there through years and years of just negative that wasn't dealt with, that wasn't known about, that wasn't realized, that couldn't be perceived, or that, it's how I ended up. And I see why so many others are in the state they're in too, that are like that, where they'll lash out and they'll cut folks down. They'll cut down this or that idea or thought or feeling that another has, just because there's nowhere in there for that pain to go anymore, because it has to come out somewhere. So the outside world ends up taking in this pain that gets lashed out from inside of us, when we don't know what's going on within us, and we don't know us. We don't know who and what we are. We don't know that we're more. We don't know that we've been lied to about everything, because we don't know yet. We only believe this, that, and the other. And that causes us to act out in this weird childish state, where everyone kind of picks their own path, like where they want to kind of develop. Like, or are they going to concentrate on develop their body, get this or that or whatever? Or are they going to develop their mind in this or that area? Or are they going to be spiritual or this and that? But how many are doing all of it? And to me, that's the thing. To me, all of it can take place inside with only effort in the individual. To go inside and think and feel until the whole consciousness is expanded, and resonant field expanded and known and dwelt in and considered. That's how I continue to develop. It takes very little now. At first, though, it took all I had. It took everything I had to try and quiet this, so I could feel so everything could connect. It took a lot of effort at first, but that's the thing. As with anything, any sport, any topic, any this or that pursuit, start as an expert or this instant. It's not an instant gratification type of thing where you can swallow a pill and just instantly develop yourself fully into what you are supposed to become. It takes consideration and work to try and figure out what makes us up as individuals. And I'm still trying to work on me and trying to figure out just what is it that I'm supposed to become here. I don't know, but I know what I am. I know what I am now. I'm a living, breathing man, like many other living, breathing men out there. Here with a bunch of living, breathing women, living, breathing children, living, breathing animals. I know that. I know there is a spiritual truth to it all. I know that there is a creator of it all. I know that we're all created by that force. I also know that there's other forces here that are, say, diametrically opposed to that creative force, and they have run rampant. To me, I feel that that creative force is not letting that continue. Maybe that's because so many of us here are fully keying into that realization and knowing within us, about us, for us, about everything else, and are able to see it, feel it, know it. Maybe that's exactly why all these deceptions are coming to light at such a rapid pace. And maybe that's why folk that are on those ladders, on that dark pyramid, should look at it for what it is and go, look, we're already all right here on these rungs. Let's kind of drop the weapons, the guns, the swords, the shields. Let's drop all this stuff that we're carrying up these rungs. And let's start repainting this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We're already right here, so to speak. Pardon the language. I do feel it could be that simple. I really do. To me, the knowing that there's all these buildings, all these places, all these things, well, okay, first, I know that the worst of the issues that folk deal with on a day-to-day basis could be talked through in a therapeutic manner, in a way that they would be able to understand and heal if given the right words, the right support, the right care, the right natural medicine to help them get right. I'm convinced that can happen for everyone. I know it is. I did it for me, is what I'm saying. I'm not obviously the sharpest tool in the shed, so to speak. You know what I mean? I was tricked for a long time and stuff. So I know that folk, when they are able to heal inside, see the deception for what it is, but then know that since we are all deceived and we are all fooled by these same whatevers, the belief, well, now that we know that, we could all say, okay, let's talk through this, let's fix this, let's get these people therapy and help them instead of all these, let's trap people in all these other places, lock them away, just say they're mentally insane or criminally insane or this or that or the other. Let's actually help folk, because a lot of those things were created situationally due to environmental circumstance. So start helping folk. At the same time, start revamping how things are done. All these structures and the buildings and all these things that could be cleared out from the junk and the toxins that they're used to produce and sell or market. Fill those places with these hydroponic grow, turn them into grow facilities for plants that keep reproducing indoors. So environmental changes aside, there will be a constant food supply grown indoors, hydroponically, efficiently, naturally. It would be easy enough to sustain all the populations wherever they are, however they are, in this grid pattern that's already set up. It's already in use. Refurbish. Turn those places into food centers where the community can come in and help volunteer time to grow and get these facilities moving and running. Doesn't take money. It takes, if people are volunteering their time to do these things and refurbish things, well, everybody gets fed. That way, everyone can pick the spot they're in this pyramid. A lot less work, and there's a lot less involved because the stuff's already there. It has to be just thought through and then executed and done. Not executed in a bad way, so to speak, but acted upon. So that's only that's one example. All these big facilities, you know, not all of them, but a lot of these big facilities turned into indoor grow places hydroponically is a simple one. Simple.